For example, airlines. Scientific research disrupted due to lockdowns and travel bans. Scientists have been unable to travel abroad or elsewhere to do their field work, and there is a limit to how some can accomplish with the data acquisition as well as the operating the computers. More plastics, it is important, or the polythene bags. COVID-19 has vastly increased our use of plastics in terms of gloves, masks, plexiglass, some items in the different stores and offices, then disposable shopping bags, discarded gloves and masks are littering streets and parks. The use of plastic packaging and bags has soared because of restaurants rely on take-out and delivery of food items. Ordering all sorts of other items online has also resulted in more packaging materials, increasing the carbon footprint of e-commerce. These are there may be some exceptional cases related to some countries those countries have already banned the use of plastics and polythene carry bags. Stay at home and stay safe. This is the slogan during this. But lockdowns and quarantine centers have compelled people to stay at home, which benefits the environment from different angles, as I have already mentioned. But the polythene carry bags and other polythene or plastics they use in the quarantine centers and others, the disposal, there is no any proper disposal system. I have my personal experience in our campus, university campus, and they are throwing away the plastic materials they are using during that quarantine time, and it pollutes the entire area. With store, restaurants and movie theaters shuttered, people have sought relief of walking outside in the parks and nature. It is a positive side. But this experience could foster a new appreciation of nature and mere understanding about the impacts of human on the environment. It will translate it, we should try to translate it for the positive side. The negative sides are also there. Still, we must think about the positive sides of all those issues. With these viewers, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. Thoughts? I would now request Professor Kumar Sharma, who is a renowned scientist, and you all know he has a lot of contribution to the Brahmaputra flood system.
Can I ask a doubt, Dr.
Yeah.
Sure. The topic is water resource management. 6 months of the year, Northeast is experiencing heavy rain. But you haven't spoken about how we manage that water so that during the later time right now.
I think right question, and the person coming will, because he is an expert in water management, he has a lot of contribution in Brahmaputra flood study, control, management, so I think he's thrown a lot of light for your question. Will have a direct answer for us. Thank you.
Respected Professor N.C. Talukdar, Vice Chancellor of the Downtown University, Professor Hariprasad Sharma from Guwahati University, Sanjay Das from Hendrick College, and my friend Mitra here, and my you all look like student, I don't know, but I would like to call you student friends, and of course maybe some of you are faculty, very young faculty. So it's a good opportunity that we are here, and after a long break, I am physically here, because initially I refused to be here physically, but then Mitra pursued, and then I thought that okay, let us come out. So that's for me also it is an excitement that I am here physically today. And the topic itself is, that is the climate change, flood, water resources management, and of course a focus on the northeastern part of India, and after coronavirus. I mean that after COVID situation it means. And we'll have to relate COVID with the water resource management because the topic is basically on that. And the time is very short, so I'll be very brief. But then if you have any question, please feel free to raise the question after my talk, okay? The first point, when we talk about climate change, we have conducted a lot of studies on climate change, how it impacts our precipitation, how it impacts our river flow. And when we talk about the precipitation, then very interesting finding, not only in this temperate country, but in other side also, in Africa also we are doing, Ethiopia and all those countries. And there what we are finding, that precipitation, total annual precipitation may not be changing that much, but there is a change, there will be change, some in total annual precipitation also we are getting varying result, but most importantly, we will be having more short duration precipitation, short duration but high intensity precipitation, and longer dry spell. Okay. So this means the amount of precipitation, even if it remains same throughout the year, but there is also some indication of increasing that in this part. But then even if it remains same, when all the precipitations comes in a very short duration, it will lead to more flooding, and that we are experiencing. Also we are finding late monsoon. That is, in fact, we are experiencing that. In November we had flood, so October, November. So that kind of things we are having now. So this is one of the major concern, and temperature is also changing. Though temperature doesn't look like directly related to precipitation, but it has a very direct link. And not only with that, because with the flood, the crop cultivation time get affected. And when suppose your delayed flood is there, crop cultivation will get delayed. But at the same time, if temperature drop at that time, then the germination of the crop and all those things might be affected. So that your production will also go down. So this is one of the important point, that variation of precipitation or the pattern of precipitation, which will basically lead to more flood and more drought situation. So now, otherwise also, in this part of, when I focus on the northeastern part of India, when we focus on these, then you see the precipitation, through Brahmaputra about 540 BCM of water is flowing, but then this precipitation come only in 4 to 5 months. That is the monsoonal precipitation. And when it is coming in a short duration, if you see the utilizable versus available water resources, sometimes it is said that a lot of available water resources is there, but utilizable percentage is only 4% kind of things comes. Why? Because everything is coming together in a 4 to 5 months. Just giving you an example, if you are provided with a lot of food today, then you will not be able to consume that. Suppose 5 kg of paneer or chicken, if you are non-vegetarian, if we provide it to you and ask you to eat today, you will not be able to consume that. But if you ask for a freezer along with that, if I give you a freeze that store it and eat today gradually, then you can utilize it. Now what is happening? That temporal variation. Because it is coming together, we are not finding a scope for utilizing that. Okay? Now what can be the freeze here, or what can be the freezer here? That is very important point. That means our basin also store a lot of water. When precipitation falls, then it infiltrates into the ground, and then it meets the groundwater. Your groundwater table also rise. Now what is happening? Because of deforestation, because of urbanization, your areas are getting paved and your forest is off. So your grasses are going off, so your infiltration is reducing. And so whatever rainfall is coming through a paved surface, it is moving fast and going to the river, causing flood, and it is going off to the sea. Once it reaches the sea, then it becomes non-usable, because it is a saline water, cost is very high if we try to transfer saline water to the fresh water. So crisis is in fresh water. And a wrong notion is given to all of us from our childhood. From my childhood also I have heard that there are 2/3 of over the globe, 2/3 is filled with water and 1/3 is land. And when something is less, for that only people fight. So for the fighting is happening on the land side, that is our land requirement, territorial. But actually, water, though 2/3 is there, out of that 2/3 of water, 97.4% is in the ocean. And only 2.6% is the fresh water, which we can use. So that way, the concept need to go off. That is 2/3 is, so that's why we do not care for water. That is one of the very important points. So conservation is the solution. The freezer that I told, so we need to conserve the precipitation, whatever is coming, because with time, deforestation, urbanization is leading to more temporal variation. So that way this is one of the concern. And when we talk about the need, sometimes we feel that, okay, for drinking we need only this much percentage, for agriculture we need this much percentage, but it is not. When we talk about water footprint, demand side I am talking about. When we talk about water footprint means what is our virtual footprint on water. It is not just the drinking water. I am wearing a shirt. So for manufacturing of the shirt, somewhere some industry is running. I am eating, we are all eating here. For that some agriculture is going on. So combining all these things, if we find out what is the requirement of water per capita per year, it comes around 1240 meter cube per capita per year. Per day, if we convert, this is the global average. If we convert it to, it comes to around 3.4 meter cube per capita per day. So the fresh water is still sufficient, but we can manage it if we manage it properly. Because of temporal variation, it is difficult. So storage is extremely important. I'm not saying that we should go for big dam or kind of things, but there are different ways. If time permit, or if you in the question and answer session, we can be discussing a lot of things on that. That we are talking about ecological management practice. That concept EMP. It is just like BMP, but EMP is that combination of management practice, catchment management practice, watershed management practice, which try to take the ecology to its virgin state. Okay? To its virgin state, when there were no interruption and nothing. So that way, we would like to go more close to the nature through ecological management practice. Even in urban area now, we are having the flood and all these things. And because that ecological management practice concept, I am glad to share with you that this has been implemented. Not only these are published in, American Society of Civil Engineering Journal and many other journals, but then it has been implemented in one of our urban watersheds in Guwahati. And also, we had a collaboration later that day with Germany, and they come, and then in Costa Rica also this is being implemented. So that way the things are spreading, and this now this COVID has given us the online, make us online familiar. So your reach to the globe is now very easy, almost in very interior place. We have the mobile with all, most of all. Though it is whether it is good or bad, it's a different thing, but this is happening. Now I'll come to, and then another proposal we had, that is that on the tributary of the northeastern river region. If we can have cascade reservoirs, small cascade reservoirs, and can store water in each of these reservoirs, and can have a canal network through which there can be navigation, there can be tourism. So all these facilities we can have. Proper data monitoring is necessary, online sensor. System we need. So given the time, I'd like to close here, but then I think 2 minutes are there. So in this 2 minutes, I'd like to talk about the corona effect or coronavirus. But then I'm not talking about that. I'm not a doctor, but then I'm not a physical doctor, physician. But then corona, what I would like to see from this point of view, that is a lot of labor, lot of workers has come back to their own native place during coronavirus or during the COVID situation. Now also it is happening. Now where they will get their livelihood, that is extremely important. And water resource, talk about lake, if we talk about river, if we talk about wetland, there are a lot of opportunities. So we need to explore those things, and we should utilize those things in the most optimal manner. And agriculture, in the agriculture sector, just as I have told you, that this year itself, because of late flood coming in, so some seeds were given, some crops, Rabi crops came, but they could not plant those things, and if it get delayed, then the fruits become less, only shoots will be there. So that kind of agriculture people will be knowing much better. Is there, I'm not supposed to talk on that side, but then with my limited knowledge, just I'm telling, there requires a combination of agriculturists and water scientists to work together to find out how best we can manage our available water so that we can get our required crops, and the workers coming from different states who are coming back to their own place can do their cultivation and can surely get the benefit, and they do not suffer again another disaster because of this kind of mismanagement of. So with that, I always say that should give emphasis on conservation of water to the children itself. We should leave the rhymes like twinkle star. Rather than that, we should teach them. Raindrop. Fill our glass. Raindrop. Fill our ocean. So thank you very much. Thank you all. Have a good day.
Thank you, Professor. I say it is nicely expressed thoughts, and in fact, we have to practice. All these small ways you can do. If you do small things, you can achieve. Even learning to open the tin while you use water every day. Experience for your own kids, and then you will be brushing your stuff. Water goes down. Take a glass. Half a glass of water. Wash your face after you brush teeth. Imagine a family has 5 members. Otherwise you are using 5 liter. 5 of 5 liter. You are less of 5 liter. You are using only 250 or 300 milliliter of water. 1 liter. Let us assume 1 liter. You spend by washing. 4 liter in each family. Imagine how many lakhs of them. So practical things. This is practice. Like to having things and have a green planet. Practice the right thing from the ground level. Elaborate is not sure. Besides exploring avenues of making this art in more sustainable for future generation to survive. I think now it's the next speaker very interesting session in a way that the COVID okay, now we will try Takpa is the Joint Secretary Minister of Environment and Climate Change. He is supposed to be remote, so we'll connect him. Okay. Skip. So that you have come to an end. Yeah, Doctor
He's also supposed to be in Chairperson Nedan Foundation. We can connect him. We can connect him if he's there. He's also not. And then we have AC School, Northeastern Region, Inland Water and Land Management. In this book, important institute related to water management, soil and land management. So he was supposed to be, could not got any. Okay. So I'll share some thoughts.
Distinguished panelists and the dais and the organizers of this particular summit, Dr. Sanjay Das, Mitra, and all the speakers seems to be from a school, university, maybe research in young faculty. Not supposed to be young faculty. Okay. This topic, I thought I could have been shifted to some other area, like soil system sustainability, or soil system health, and I do some research on soil system. Basically, I hold a bachelor degree in agriculture. I did soil chemistry and microbiology. I've been changing my research area. Instead, I feel very comfortable to talk about the soil system. Green planet is a subject very dear, and green peace itself. Put a peaceful feeling in one's heart. If we see the planet Earth today, last 45 years, almost lost 45% plant and biodiversity from this planet. So 45% plants have gone, animals have gone, and last 45 years, world population become more than double. You have less resource, and then you have more people. We have about 750 crores people today in the entire world. India itself is about 130 crores people. Population is about 130 crores individuals. So this is why the international society, it's a very noble venture. It's a voluntary organization. They want to bring the green cover of the planet, bring back the green cover. 40% plant and animal gone, green cover gone. So yesterday, in fact, when this organizer called me about a month ago, I said, there's not much communication. There is no one to speak. So this morning, while coming from residence to this place, I tried to go through what has happened yesterday. And what I find, Chief Minister, Honorable Chief Minister Assam, Sobananda Sonowal, he sent a message. Somebody read it. Very important. He brought up some very important issues. He talked about the ecological agriculture. Like even with ecological agriculture, water resource problem. Forest inundation, like these are all linked up. When you talk about ecological agriculture, it's the connectedness. What is happening today with us? We have lost our connectedness with nature. What is that connectedness? How we are connected? Very simple. Like carbon dioxide we are giving out, and the plant is giving out oxygen. We take oxygen, what is given out by the plant, take carbon dioxide, we give out. So that's the connection. Right? Now, I am not sure. The entire humanity vanishes whether the plant will suffer. I think no, plant will not suffer. the Homo sapiens, scientific name is are all engineers or like related to civil and the environmental science. So I do not know whether you are not biology science, so I will talk more about biology science. Our interconnected this is how we are living. And this human being have evolved. The Homo sapiens, the Homo habilis, Homo erectus, then this Homo sapiens. We evolved on this planet about 2 lakh years. Our art is about 5 billion, 500 crores, and this whole universe is about 40 and 50 years old, 1,000 years old, 1,450 years universe old. This universe evolved. Big Bang about 14.5 crores years ago. Art was about 500 years ago. And human being on this planet evolved about 2 lakh years ago. So then, prior to that, other organisms evolved, bacteria, fungi, your telephyte, bryophyte, small plants, and other animal, protozoa, ramification, kingdom has evolved. And then when human being has started inhabiting this planet, the danger to all other creatures have begun. What I'm trying to say, if and today from plant will have no problem. All other perhaps the coronavirus start. You were watching TV in Delhi street Nil guy, I don't know. There is a forest by IIT site. There is a small forest where you get Nil guy. What is the English name? I don't know. It used to because there is no transportation on the road. So this Nil cow used to roam on the street. Used to roam the street in Gujarat forest. To the street. Lion came to the street. How much pressure we have imposed on animals? This was not human. It was place of animal. This IIT Guwahati campus. So many snakes. Mishra has been here. Mishra has from the beginning. He knows from the beginning. Cobras, and they are all getting eliminated. This place was not place of IITians or human being. This is a necessary evil. We have compelled to want to do very intelligent, and so much we have achieved in terms of development, science and technology. That also at the same time has compelled us to express our concern on dwindling bioresources, dwindling biodiversity, animal population, plant population, and that is now beginning to affect us. We don't have one simple example I have to draw your attention to. Whenever I think of climate change, Professor Sharma says extreme events. Nowadays you find rainfall continue for hours, and then 20 days there is no rain. When we were young, we used to travel. I had always this wondering, where is the boundary of it stop? If I walk my home, I belong to a village near Tihu. And from that village, I used to study my bachelor's degree in Jorhat. We used to travel by bus. The day I start, rain in my home, and then rain, where this rain will stop? Where is the boundary stop? It will never stop. To Jorhat, sometimes 7, 8, 9, 10 hours continuously. Do you remember now? That is a day in the continuous rain. So this is what is like extreme event. That's extreme. Now with an extreme event, example I am giving example. Guwahati city interspersed with small hills. Now what happens? Now you have a road here. Talk about your radio station Silpukhuri. Okay. Now there are few flooded area in the Guwahati. In those areas are located by the small hills. Guwahati city has a lot of small hills. Now earlier uniformly distributed. So the rainfall first falls on the soil. soil, percolate down percolate down 30% of water, 30% of water down, reaches the groundwater, and remaining water, it comes as runoff. So if you rainfall of medium intensity, medium duration, for long duration, the whole process is amount is going down, some amount is coming in a very balanced way. But moment rainfall comes in 2 hours, the soil cannot soak that much water. The percolation loss is too much. So water comes down. Runoff is very heavy. As a result, that you have the drain that you have by the side of the road, it cannot conduct that much of water. Do you agree? So as a result, you find moment there is a heavy rain, you immediately have flood problem. Next day, quite problem in Guwahati city. Now, question is, cities are there in the world, which topography is unique like Guwahati. I don't have too many cities. Now, Guwahati city flood problem, the climate change exaggerated or like enhance the severity of flood problem in Guwahati city. Now, for Guwahati city problem handling, a person cannot come from America, cannot come from Europe. So we who live here, we understand your geography, our geomorphology. We have to do that research. IIT will have to do that research. Assam Engineering College will have to do research. Just University Civil Engineering people have to do. So when we talk about Greenpeace and Northeast India climate change, yesterday Chief Minister says that we must increase our research. When we talk about we're digging behind India for last 30 years, all the time thinking about what we should make a young generation. Unless you have research data, cannot do much. What research data? I need a very simple either from University Civil Engineering students or from Assam Engineering College. Final year civil engineering students, every season they should divide hills of Assam, your Guwahati city. They should monitor event, high rain, how much water is coming down, how much is percolated, how many days there's flood. Like we keep hearing in newspaper, but there's scientific data. Unless we generate data for 5 years continuously, cannot drainage systems. Now drainage systems were developed some 30 years ago. Those drains are illegal now. If you have very high runoff, negotiate all those water away to flood the road. You have to change it. You understand now how research is being elimination of the problem. I do not want to elaborate a lot. Given only one example, it's only 8 minutes time. Had I known that I have to show you some exciting data of what is to this planet. I just would stop saying 2 minutes on the agricultural context. Agriculture began. Now Homo sapiens evolved 2 lakh years ago. Agriculture began only 10,000 years ago, 8,000 before Christ. From Christ's birth, it's only 10,000 years ago that agriculture evolved. And until 1950s, agriculture was a very natural system, ecological agriculture means on its own, fantastic. So ecological agriculture on its own. Like our forefather, my grandfather, they will sow seeds of rice. Okay, in the month of April, May, and then they will harvest those who are not traditional variety, very tall, and they will collect this in the month of October, November, December. Okay. And when they harvest, there will be shattering loss. Because they will have and then in two sides, this bundle of rice, some scattering or some seed falls. So next year they will not show the seeds that have settled. Next year to germinate. It's a voluntary crop. Okay, and then this crop you bring. My grandfather used to harvest, and when it is in the field, some insect will also take a part. Some bird will take a part of it, right? Because this rice that grows in the field is not for only of it is also for the birds, also for the insects, right? So it's a natural way. So this is the ecology. And then if you have more insect in the some birds will eat them up. So now birds is acting as a helper of agriculture, and then each other complementary role. Right? Now come 1950. Because this traditional variety, it doesn't give you long. It doesn't 1 hectare of land. You may get 10 quintals yield. But world population again development, science and technology, where vaccination, people used to die when there was cholera. Village vanished within a matter of day. But the scientist has worked on vaccines, have worked on all the control measures, diseases have gone. As a result, population has increased. So the traditional way was enough to feed the growing population. Then came Green Revolution. 1950. The Green Revolution was a very simple thing. Learned about Green Revolution simply changing the architecture of plants were very tall. If a hectare of land produced 40 quintals of your grain and the straw, the grain will be only 10 quintals. So 1:4 ratio. Out of quintal, you get 10 quintal, you get 10 quintal, and remaining straw, it's just stay like that. Now you see hiding varieties are short. The hiding variety more grain than the straw. Architecture has been built and it can support. Now what has happened? Means 50% material you are eating home. Is it not? So that you are bringing more nutrient from the soil. You cannot grow these hiding variety more than 3-4 years. Soil is devoid of nutrient. As a result, there is parallel development on fertilizer, nitrogenous, phosphatic, potash fertilizer. So in Green Revolution, and also not only human being like them, also insect like them. Pest attack hiding varieties much more than traditional. So as a result, you have pesticide. Advent of pesticide, fertilizer. As a result, what has happened? These fertilizer not only helping plant more yield, but at the same time they are toxic to soil. Toxic to soil. How? Most of you have seen your pea crop. So they're all leguminous crop. These leguminous crop in a year, if you add up all the leguminous plant of this plant, then it brings atmospheric nitrogen, it brings 3 times more nitrogen than the Haber's process. Nitrogen brings ammonia in all the nitrogen manufacturing industries of the world. Still your urea manufacturing industry of the world has not been able to what this tiny bacteria in the root nodule is doing. But because you have dumped the soil with lot of fertilizers, they are toxic. So this microbial population has gone down. So this natural fertility of the soil has gone down. Last 10,000 years agriculture, microorganisms supply dissolved phosphorus, but from 1950 onwards, because of use of chemicals, fertilizers and pesticide, population of soil microorganism has gone down. As a result, So soil health, if it is a good health, it has to have all these microorganisms. So soil health has gone down. As a result, now you have to apply, today in 2020, you need to apply 3 times more fertilizer, still increase in yield, which you could achieve years ago. 40 years ago, 40 years ago, 10 kilogram urea, you got 20 quintal per today you have to 30 kilogram of nitrogen. Means the soil capacity to support this production has gone down. So soil is no more sustainable. Honorable Chief Minister has also mentioned soil organisms take care. Now people talk about restoring. We should get back to applying more and more organic manure, vermicompost, and then I draw your attention from today onward. If just take a rough measure, every day your how much vegetable waste is throwing. Why don't you collect them? Every day at least 250 gram, 500 gram, maybe some 1 kilogram of vegetable waste we throw. That gets decomposed naturally, carbon dioxide concentration increases. Rather than that, if you collect and put in a small container, put few earthworms, after 2 months, that will be beautiful. All your garden, vegetable crops, vegetable flowers. You don't have to buy any fertilizer. Lots of ways. I personally emphasize research will be going on. At individual level, what we do is extremely important to make our soil systems and to get ourselves connected. How good you feel prepared when you prepare your vermicompost and put in your flower. Do a small experiment. Marigold in 5 pots, another 5 pots, marigold. Put your own vermicompost. Other you don't put anything. One after you see the flowers bigger, much brighter. How good you feel, because you do not have opportunity all the time to see how nature works. Nature will come to your family. Is your effort to bring nature to your own home. So when you talk about a green planet, that big policy issues of reducing pesticides, promoting agriculture, organic farming, ecological farming, giving subsidy for organic fertilizer production, vermicompost price. That's one policy. Other issues, whatever little knowledge each one of us we gain through our academic career, to put those knowledge into equally, I say 50% make this to planet evergreen. And the global effort that is going on, a great contributor for player, for individual in your individual life, reflect. Okay. You don't understand that this whole nature thing is so beautiful. Like if some microbiologist is there, you will find 1 gram of soil from a field where they have been applied fertilizer, and then 1 gram of soil where they apply only vermicompost. You put it with water, mix with water, some food material, some nutrient aggregates. These two type of soil water mixer. See in one place, one bacterial colony, in others. That should facilitate. Then what is lost from this soil system. Okay. So finally, a great lesson I learned from a saint. That lesson is simple, very simple. We all know how a bread is made. Most of us. We have knowledge of how a bread is made. Even a person who is very hungry, you cannot afford a piece of bread. How to bread. He has the knowledge. But if he doesn't have the bread, his hunger is not gone. Right? So he may have the knowledge, but he doesn't have the bread to eat. So each one of us today has sustainable ecological environmental problem. This knowledge is flooded. We are also flooded with information. But we are hungry. We are living stressful. We're living flood in Guwahati city. So you cannot in Indian something oxygen cylinder like say it has come back strength in full strength in Delhi will say one reason this COVID is a mediated disease. Immune mediated mean person whose immunity is likely to all severely diabetic person have not returned from the hospital because diabetic person, sir, immunity compromised. Their immunity is very now in cities what is happening in your Punjab, Haryana, western part of UP. They have started harvesting and they are burning the straw, and that smoke oxygen level has gone down. When you don't have so your immunity temporarily your whole body is affected. If corona somehow getting this is one reason. Why again second. So what is extremely important the knowledge that we have. Unless we use that when I say use that knowledge, 1 kilo of compost from your kitchen waste is knowledge. You are eliminating your hunger. So this is extremely having knowledge is not at all important. This knowledge being peaceful and happy is extremely. I think this is also one message of Greenpeace International. Unless entire planet again, we are not going to be peaceful. So with these words, thank you organizer for giving my solution. Thank you. Now there are some presentations on case study on indigenous water management by Bodo Child, by Digambar Nursery. This is extremely important. Case studies are the real personal hand experience. So virtually also. Indigenous water management types by Bodo types. If you travel to Nagaon and Jorhat, cross Morigao, left-hand side, when they grow rice during December, January, you'll find all those by the roadside. We'll have small boat. Okay, like this boat you can swim. Once you lift the water. So this is one way of community also has. So these indigenous systems almost lost.
Take that one, like the boat, it's like a heki or a seesaw, it's like on one side, then water is down, then on the other side, the water is going to a dong. So they have a dong system, nothing like the art, bring out there, throw out there, so that water goes to their agriculture, and that is a very important activity that is prevention. Generally those waters are collected, the water comes and the roadside has the same. These are some.
We all must
Once a year, once in 10 years, it's okay. But year after year, how is that able to give a permanent solution?
Professor Sharma, right person, I must put my views. Whenever this question of flood, I remember one chief minister at the time during high school. Mr. Sarat Sena, he come from Gwalpur. He's a very simple person. The chief minister used to come to office by city bus. So once in the newspaper, chief minister of Assam wants Assam to live with flood. So about 50 years ago, somebody said, try to learn flood means we cannot control flood. So you say that why flood cannot control? Now flood control, but 50 years ago, something very mysterious, something unsolved. If you ask me, I don't want Assam flood to control to have a control. This Assam flood, it's a natural way of restoring fertility. But rather somebody that you criticize me, I said a flood should be an event of celebration for Assam. There is tourism growing around. Simple example. Now in Hemazi people have flood every year. In other districts, not every year. So one is the time. Now let us assume a system. In Hemazi, we have some concrete platform, like Muslim community of Assam. They have the house. Invariably Masjid will always have flood. There is no record of not having flood. So their houses have 2 stories. They have 2 stories. First story nobody stays. Only the waste material they carry in the beach. So that's again ecological. So they live on the first floor. The first floor is sangha. It's a raised house. No one can have concrete structure. There to go at least those which are severely affected. Now Assam flood begins from on an average June
monsoon comes early, maybe June to September. When Visakhama Puja, September, start generally continue in that one. Then June, July, August, September. Let us say 4 months of flood. And during those 4 months, all the states they are prepared. Okay. And then also you arrange for another boats, right? And they will have fishing, program and living together. So all those. So and then flood resides, flood brings all the nutrients sometimes, except sometimes its siltation is very heavy. Some agricultural field will have 5-6 feet deep sand there. That's a problem. But otherwise, it brings nutrient and your soil layer. Next season you don't have to in the past. Okay. Now, if you cannot control something, do something. Either you do flood control, this kind of flood to this is what I said somewhere. Or he foreign flood and he's trying to flood. I said no. Suffer, I know. Who knows? What is the harm in thing? Thought came to me. This thought didn't come as a luxury process. It was not. Thought comes, what can you do? Thought I express. Okay. So problem, serious note. But problem with every person here, becoming severe because the Varakan surrounded by hills. So whatever happens in the other states, Sikkim doesn't affect us. That they cut forest, runoff losses more, everything comes down, and all the river bed has been raised. So your climate change, extreme events, entire rainfall of the month in 2 days of 2-3 hours rain. So this water bodies cannot conduct that much water, like the same flooding in Guwahati, like small hills of what is it? Heavy rainfall. Drainage systems are very old. Cannot conduct so same is the case. So needs like it's very. It's very innovative thoughts, and someone is definitely thinking also. But to me, controlling flood or entire Assam Valley and Bora Beach, I don't think I'm grudging. I don't know how much fiber to position that with me.
They are talking about minerals and other things. They may have.
They have their own interest. They have their own interest.
They said no. Otherwise, it will be very big advantage for all of us. Besides, some floods are not violent like elsewhere. Later on, they might come a time when houses will be carried off, people will be carried off. It might reach a time like that. I'm talking that concept.
I think, but question is, the American, they have this big dredging machine, dredger and all. They will be able to do, but long-term sustainability, like when Norman Borlaug brought these your hybrid variety wheats and then rice and all those, we never expected that the world will have to have a Greenpeace International organization. That will all put human population increasing, will produce our food crop double, and will live in luxury. And then what has happened today? We have destroyed our environment. We are now talking about the sustainability. Now, deep Brahmaputra like that, after 20 years, what is going to happen? Who is going to guarantee? Whatever deep knowledge you say, we still very limited in knowledge. And only thing I want to say, as a nature lover, whatever we do, that must be consistent with nature. Don't do anything that it is
a short-term gimmick. We all enjoy riding a Fleetwood car, right? Have you thought taking how many lakh hectares of land from this planet? So the other side of and then so what I'm saying, technology alone is not going to give a green and peaceful future and all. There has to be a beautiful moral sense, morality, love for nature, sacrifice, Mahatma Gandhi said, this planet art has enough to meet, not enough to meet everyone, not in the exact quotation. So we must revisit those what was said, right? These are shoes that I'm trying to sensitize this young generation, because all the color and glow of the modern world, you must think that everything what you see is not the end in it. There are many other things. A sustainable planet, that cannot be seen. Very in-depth analysis. We should start becoming determine the course of action that we need to begin with. That simple course of action. All the young generation constitutes 50% of this planet. You become aware of what we have taught at senior, everything that you, and then you see, you build your own future sustainable. Okay. Don't take what I say because what I say I don't do it. What I say is to for my colleague and I can speak in my own. That's true. That is what I'm saying. That's true. Because we are I talk more and lectures to all this. I can attract drawing your attention. That's not in action. Even you see in action what I do also. Right? That is important. Right? What I said is composed. I single blade of things in my convert them. I do not use fertilizer. Sometimes I can come to my kitchen garden in the morning in the evening half an hour you come and see that. That is what is extremely important.
I would also like to go the same that what you told was the channelization of proposal was taken. They channelizing the entire problem, giving sparse from going the side and it will be and it will be flowing through that. But this is not single livelihood of people is associated with it. And then there are a lot of tributaries that joining their peripheral is not a single river, it's a system. So if you do that, there will be other first on the whole river system. So these are the concerns, but we can analyze those things, what best can see, what best. Similarly, we are also suggesting that in the tributary we can have small cascade and the connected canals. That kind of system, if we develop my top, then this can help. But then at the same time, we do not control the vegetation and other ecological management practice. Sediment that will come from the catchment will fill up those small reservoir, all to the reservoir small stories. And their storage, if it gets filled up, then this will not serve. So, ecological management practice, that is vegetation, not only single vegetation, because when we talk about vegetation, we studied here, we have a experiment where we tried that there are different types of vegetation, potential of controlling sediment yield and controlling water. So the best combination and cost is also different for different forest has different. So all these combinations combination will have to be in that way. We become more close. Now when you are saying that long duration we have flood. Yes. I was also in the north or some area, and I myself have experienced flood. So it is so not that flood was not there before. Embankments were given, and then that area was protected. Now the city is not flood, but in other areas still flood happening. Point is that in 1954 there was a lot of discussion, and then trees were reservoir, and then some river training, and then embankment was temporary. But here. At that time, reservoir was. Nowadays, a lot of concerns about environment when we talk about construction of a reservoir. And many reservoirs now they are demolishing those because the life of competition and the whole cannot sedimentation is concerned. So all those things. Now at that time those reservoirs didn't. And then other river training works is going on. But mostly it is relied on the embankment. But that embankment is a structure, earth and when even small hole is there in the embankment, when the flood level is high, bullet through is this college. So if it goes, then it can big hole and then whole embankment. Sometimes it overtops. Now more problem is that earlier when flood was gradually expanding. Now it is happening that embankment is there about 40 meters near the embankment. When the embankment collapses, suddenly the water rushes, and so damage or danger is slightly more. But at the same time, we cannot the embankment also because people are there already. Development is based on the embankment. So we cannot ask to remove. So this is one constraint on our part. And so what I feel that conservation needs to be and then we should think of taking other management. Majuli, if you go every house has a boat. Every house has a boat. Changhar, what Professor Talukdar was talking about. Instilled houses. So that way in Cambodia also they are instilled. They are in water. They are living. Their school is on board. Like that is another think about. This is a jump. This is a jump. They are living. So that for them the flood is for them. The flood is flood is not. But the erosion is a problem. That is because of flood or during flood. The erosion take land will lose. So the erosion control, river bank erosion, and river bank erosion extremely flood. We can go for disaster management, just like raise from now. That is what some area. If we can have a highland. Now that highland be utilized in other. There can be a hall. Big hall here when we were involved. Relief distribution. The people were in crisis. People were distributing relief itself. People get frustrated. Someone do not get that. Someone solves the problem. Itself is a problem. Locality is also now this kind of highlands are and through boat that we can go to. So that is different connection. And suppose there is a big hall where in other time you can use that for other purposes, various purposes remain so that it remains. And during flood time people who who are suffering. So and then your supply chain will become quite relief, very more system. And I think disaster effect or the impact reduced to some extent. So it requires a combination of engineering, structural measures, non-structural measures, reducing the flood, all these combinations are required. So that's what. And if you have any other question, of course, very specific, I'll be happy to respond. But then, as said that nature should be close to the. That is true. That is I say that I say that when you like that rain also I say one point that to live early, leave the nature, leave different, alive. One is LEV. To live early, leave the nature. To live long, live with nature. So that is the motto we should follow. And that way, if we move, technology should be more nature oriented, then only sustainable technology to be. Okay.
Order. By 2032, all the Don Bosco schools around the world must go sustainable.
Right.
As far as energy is concerned. So we will like have
rainwater harvesting.
Everything. So on that aspect I take. But water is something which we as individuals or as colleges and universities cannot manage. We need the whole government and all to do that. Whereas other practices we can do. We can say water, we can go green, we can plant grass, we can plant trees and all that. So this is something out of hand. What can we do for flood in Brahmaputra? That's why I'm asking. The government must come in a big way. Management. I'm not saying controlling flood. The management of flood is important.
Yes, important. And
I don't know if the government is paying attention to that part. It comes, some money is given, some relief material is given, waiting for the next year. There's a department that has been set up by Assam government, which means they are expecting it to last forever. The department, like education,
or some department in government of Assam,
that's what I told you. It is complicated. They are not thinking in terms of stopping it.
apart means I have say, I have to say that part of the control of Islam, next stage. If from next year, every data, during this part from May to September or honest data. Area of sugar and stated how many times one are paid, what distribution secretary they have that for next year.
Another point I will just the data that there is another even when we talk about suppose we are talking about system project that can control extent giving other benefit. But when we talk about benefit ratio, ultimately economy will there. When we calculate the damage, you are saying that data are not there. That is to some extent true, but there may be some document. But then at the same time, that these are tangible laws. But intangible laws, the people are suffering, the psychological pressure on the school get closed for 1 month, the education gets so those how we can convert tangible cost. And if we can convert those, cost to tangible cost. That model is necessary. And all social scientists, that you work on that side, find out a tangible cost model this particular this, so that when we calculate cost benefit ratio, this project this is also another. I was in a flood control department. I said that some enjoy, but at my initial stage of life, initial stage of life, I was in the flood control department. And this was in Assam. This was in Assam. It is called Neontron. Now the name is converted to water resource. And then at that time, I joined on that year itself. There was a lot of people always looked at me in a very different way. They think that civil at that time was said as CIL, civil engineering and corruption very important. But then I told it is not new generation Anthony, it is not actually that all my creation is very in life. So we should create new things, we should be innovative, then only we will be able to control flood. At that time when people look to me, I said, where you walk? Before telling, I tell that I work in Niyontron, that was saying Niyontron, I said that is flood creation. So it is just but it is not the exact truth. Departments are working with their limitations, some codal provisions are there. But then must provide the opportunity. All the people working in your department, engineers, they're good. You will have to give the opportunity of implementing innovative which is missing in our. If someone says something innovative, I was talking about watershed management at the time. I was a student of watershed. I was telling that. But no one is saying no. This is not in the code. I fought for the government. I fought from 2000 to 2010. I fought control, catch control. Then I got support. Then I got support from my organization. Finally, it came to the NDMA guideline. After 10 years of now, for controlling flood of the any urban these are the systems that we need to thank you.
Our engineers are like the army in the China-India border without that. They're all intelligent people. I want to start.
So one important information is Guwahati University is taking some initiative. With the help of donor ministry, we have got several crores after the order of 30 we have received and we are constructing. We are going to establish one center for study of Brahmaputra. Okay, very soon. It is under process. Construction is going on. And very soon. They are also seeking for director for that. And one expert who knows everything regarding the flood related to Brahmaputra. So initiative has been taken. What university, Assam government, and we have received them. We have already received the money.
Take back my word.
No. Government is helping us. Yeah, they are helping us. I should not say that government is doing nothing. Donor ministry. We are looking for one expert maybe appointed as director. He is searching for that. So let us hope for the best. Okay. Yeah.
Thank you, Professor N.C. Talukder, sir, and respective panelists for enlightening us with your words. Now we are moving towards the presentation session. Among us we have 8 presenters who will be taking part. Number 1, Chinmoy Borpujari. Moving on. Second we have Devajyoti Gupta.
presentation is the effect of climate change on pandemic situation. So I'm a PG student of Department of Liberal Arts, Tripura University. This is my content. My introduction. Health problems related to the environment continue to be a major source of concern all over the world. Society needs to develop measures that will eliminate or considerably reduce adverse factors from the environment that can result in health risks to humans. There is necessary consensus for intergovernmental analog climate change. And the National Academy of Sciences of USA and other scientific associations that the human activities play a very important role in climate change. Human activities changing the climate by changing the chemical balance in the air. Certain gases in the atmosphere, called greenhouse gases, absorb outgoing long-wave radiations and emit back to the surface heat that would otherwise escape to space. The atmospheric concentrations of several greenhouse gases emitted by human activities, including carbon dioxide and methane, are increasing dramatically because these gases are causing the atmosphere. Because these gases are causing the atmosphere to recycle heat and hold in more water, the atmosphere temperature at the surface of the planet is going up. The rate of increase has accelerated in the last 50 years, and significant further increases are expected in the next century and beyond. The global average surface temperature has increased over the 20th century 0.6 degree centigrade and is projected to rise up at additional 1.4 to 5.8 centigrade over the 20th century, depending on future emission of greenhouse gases. The next topic is climate change, human health risks and pandemic situation. Research on primary and infectious diseases inherently requires interdisciplinary collaboration. Studies that consider the disease cause, disease agent, the environment, and society as an interactive system requires more interdisciplinary collaboration among climate modeler, meteorologists, ecologists, social scientists, and a wide array of medical and public health professionals. Malaria is a great public health concern, like a vector-borne disease, most sensitive to long-term climate change. Malaria very similarly in highly academic areas. The link between malaria and extreme climate event has long been studied in India. Rainfall can influence the transport of infectious agents, while temperature affects their growth and survival. Excessive monsoon rainfall and high humidity was identified early as a major influence and enhancing mortality breeding, and surviving. This has shown that the malaria epidemic risk increases around 5-fold in the year after. Cold temperature, extremes of extreme of temperature can kill. In many temperate countries, death rate during the winter seasons are 10 to 25% higher than those in the summer. In this summer, in July 1995, a heat wave in Chicago caused 5.1 feet to death. 12 got 100,000 populations and 3,000 year exist emergency admissions. Most of the exit there during times of thermal extremes. With cardiovascular and respiratory disease. The very old and the very young are affected. In terms of the amount of life lost, the mortality of a with event as the heat wave is uncertain because as an unknown proportions of death are easily affected persons
Mr. Gupta,
who have died in the very near future.
Mr. Gupta. Okay, can you hear
Yes,
us?
sir.
Yeah, can you hear us? Can you hear
Yes,
us?
sir, I can hear you, sir.
Okay. So, do you have some research data of your own research, or it's kind of a new? You can skip. You can come to your research. You can come to your research data.
Yes, sir.
You present your research
Okay, sir.
data.
Okay, sir.
Okay? Your own study.
Okay, sir. So this is my research data of the people show region of people and the people effects, climatic and weather effects in the post. Sir, I don't have any accurate. I have some writing.
That's fine. Can you analyze
Writing
this?
some information,
Yes,
sir.
can you analyze this table a little bit? That's fine. Can you analyze this table a little bit? So that you can
Hello.
Yeah, you can you analyze this table? You can analyze
Okay,
it.
okay, sir. Okay, sir. Okay, sir. My next topic is coronavirus and climate change. There is no direct effect. There is no direct evidence that climate change influences the spread of COVID-19, but we know that climate change has an effect on us. How we real other species on Earth, and that matters to our health and our reproduction. As the planet land come out of their house to get out of the heat. That means humans are coming in contact with other humans. The environment is not an reaction opportunity for the virus to get into the new host. So this is my findings and analysis. Respiratory infections like coronavirus are deadly in the air pollution. Recent research from Harvard found that the COVID-19 patients living in cities have a higher risk of that. Study shows that coronavirus New York by international travelers from Europe in the early days of outbreak. It is when found that more we create pressure on nature, the more impacting us. It means that the nature wants to tell us something. It has been seen that the climate change is pushing to go to new places. The wildlife at present, we can see it getting warmer, activity. It is true that 70% of the infectious diseases are originated from wildlife. So we want to restore the environment, future pandemic, the whole life. This is quite research. I was presenting data for my study. This is data from Westers and article. And my conclusions, as countries implement restriction to stop the spread of COVID-19, skies are clearing and waterways are filled fish and wildlife, with fish and wildlife. It can be seen everywhere, different places, especially speed. But experts say that 5% since we have the pandemic did not stop climate change. Taking care of children and families, we are deeply concerned about how they can protect their children from the disease. We need to wash our hands and we need to maintain social distance. But if we really care about preventing this kind of problem in the future, we need to think hard about climate change. The biodiversity crisis. Actually, in a room with a child and a family, that this is really the time that we need to think more about the big issues that we feel. We simply cannot afford to deal with the crisis like pandemic or the climate-related crisis like wildfire, heat waves. We actually know how to improve climate solutions and can put them into actions right now. Doing so will make us healthier today and protect our future. This is my reference. And
Thank you.
Next, we have Prabir Burman, Moitri Taran, and Saurabh Dev. Moitri Taran. Department of Forestry and Biodiversity, Tripura University.
hello, I think I'm audible.
Yes, you are. Go ahead. You are audible.
It's okay, everything is fine. So kindly mute your microphone. Sir, this is Dr. Saurabh Dev from Forestry and Biodiversity Department, Tripura University. I'm going to present on water resource management in the Drashkagal Lake and Lake Study. So, before starting, let me tell you about Drashkagal Lake. Drashkagal is one of the very famous tourist spots here. This was built in 1938 by Maharaja Veer Vikram Singh, and it is one of the most beautiful spots in Tripura. It is an oval-shaped perennial natural waterlogged wetland. It was designated as Ramsar Site in 2005, and the area is near about 364 acres. As we all know that wetland is a very productive source of ecosystem. There are lots of flora and fauna that are there. We also know that wetlands are giving lots of ecological services. And And we have in our country near about 26 Ramsar sites. And Rudrasagar is one of that Ramsar sites. My study sites are these three sites, S1, S2, S3. And you can see this lake area, agricultural and other areas. What we did, we started, we did water quality assessment, valuation ecosystem services at carbon sequestration in this wetland. We started the PRA, and after that we did socio-economic survey. We prepared some action plan of that area. I'll show all these things now. So, while doing this water analysis, we observed that water quality index is very low during the month of August, July, August, you can say, whereas it is very high during the month of April. So, water quality index is calculated based on about 14 parameters. And the water quality index is low, indicates that the water quality is good. Whereas if it is high, it is more than 60, that means it is not potable. Okay. So that means what? The quality of water is not potable. It is, but it can be used for other purposes. We also observed near about 164 species from this wetland ecosystem. This list was done first time by us, though any other workers have done work on fishes or aquatic plants and all. But this is a compiled database we prepared on this Rudrasagar lake. These are few of the important plankton species. As we know that many of our participants are from different backgrounds, not from bioscience background. I'm not going to discuss it in detail, but the thing is like Spirogyra, Kara, which indicate the pollution level of that water. We also identified so many aquatic plants from that area. Some, like for example, you see Ural Pharaoh, like Icornia, which is a very dominant species in that area. These are some of the species like Echola. We know that these are very important species, economically important species. So as it is common, to discuss it in detail, but we identified near about 32 species from this lake, from this water body. And out of this, most of the plants are used for, all plants are used. And you can see that like 35% are used in whole plant, whereas the stem used by 23% people. We calculated the IVI and total value index of this species. Importance value index was calculated based on their IVI, based on their abundance, frequency, whereas the total value index is calculated based on its priority by the community, preference by the community, you can say. Okay, so you see the people of that area, fishermen mainly, they are near about 2,000 fishermen in that area. So you can see that they like to prefer Ural ferox for that, they prefer. Whereas if you see the diversity or the dominance of the species, then nymphoids is very dominant species. It indicates that the species abundance is, this is the list of, if you see the rank, this is the list of species available in that area as per their abundance, as per their dominance level, whereas this is the species list based on their priority. So those which are preferred, they are not sufficient in that area. So it was published last month in a very good journal, that priority index. We also calculated the active and passive carbon of that lake, and we observed that active carbon in sublittoral zones
I hope it is, you know, that sublittoral zone, that means that middle zone. Here it is very high, whereas active carbon, that means the carbon which is leachable, which is in leaching condition. So this is about the depth of the lake. Overall, it is observed that there are different services provided by this lake, this water body. You see the provisional services like timber, fuel wood, fish, aquatic plants, all these things you are getting from this water body, that Rudrasagar water body. It is also giving biodiversity, as I have already said. It is giving carbon sequestration here also. It is also giving some supporting services like primary production. It is also giving some tourism, as I said, it's a very beautiful tourist spot of Tripura. So it is giving tourism, recreation, it is very good picnic spot also. It is having lots of, so these things how we have calculated, how on the basis of some travel cost method we use some Likert scale also for calculating these things. So in this way, we calculated all these values starting from provisional, regulatory, supporting and cultural services of Rudrasagar Lake. And we observed that near about, that was the final calculation, near about 18 crores rupees people are getting from that lake. But people of that area, they are not aware about that value. But see the value which we calculated from these 4 services, provisional, cultural, supporting and regulating services. And I hope, and you can see the value of, the overall value of that lake, which nobody knows. People only know that fish is the only source from that lake. But there are so many services providing by that lake. But the problem is, you see 1971, that time the lake area was much higher. But you see the situation of 2018, now it is encroaching by, see the settlement area, it is encroaching by the people of that area, and you see the lake area, it is decreasing, it is in decreasing trend. So it is an alarming situation. The health of the water body is not good, as I mentioned in the beginning. If you see the size of the water body, it is also having some problem. So, and not only this, so many other stress are there. You see so many roads we are preparing surrounding the lake. You see the uncontrolled growth of Icornia. You can see the brick industry in that area. You can see the oil and grease which are coming out from the tourist boat. And you can see lots of siltations are there from the surrounding areas. So these are so many problems facing by that lake. And now the situation needs to be improved, and that's why we started on project under National Mission on Himalayan Studies, and under that project, what we did different awareness program, and you see it is in Bengali, it is written that what are the benefits we are getting from that lake. We distributed such kind of leaflets among the villagers, and people, they could understand that what exactly the ecosystem service is. Actually, before that, people are knowing about only fish, nothing else. But we try to explain them that not only fish, so many other services are there which are providing by this lake. So you have to preserve it. Most of the people are from, almost all people are from fishermen community. So we prepare different, through PRA exercise, we prepare different maps, and we try to find out the problem of that area. We ask them that what are the problems you are facing. So as per their view, as per the view of those villagers, those fishermen people, we observed that the water hyacinth is the biggest problem in that area. So what we did, we started collecting those water hyacinth, and we see that machine, it was provided by us, by the Department of Forestry and Biodiversity, and with the help of this machine, we prepared, see the way we are preparing some, it's almost same as scale, and you can see how the products we are preparing, and this we got help from Netfi Guwahati, And after that, we trained the villagers, mainly the female members of that area, and now they are able to, now the female members of that community, they can able to prepare different products from water hyacinth. Earlier it was a waste product, but now they are always for water hyacinth so that they can produce those products. Though it is in initial stage, not yet commercialized, we have already trained to thrice, I think, they're trained. I hope they will be able to prepare different products. So this is how they are utilizing their aquatic resources. See, Icornia, which was again a big problem of that water body, and what we did, we cleaned that water body. We collected all those Icornia from that area because its growth is very high and it is not allowing any other plants to grow. So we collected Icornia, we dried it, and after that we use in different ponds because it is again a good source of food. Hydrilla, that is because hydrilla. It's a good source of food for mainly common carp and other fish. So in this way we utilize that unwanted resource, or you can say that aquatic bioresource. We also, you can see Makhana. That Makhana earlier it was not utilized, but see now during this corona period, during that pandemic time, they even started selling this in the market because they are unable to get, unable to do anything, and during that time even they are unable to sell their fish products also during that corona period, mainly during the month of March and April. So that time they started selling these things. And that Makhana, I hope you know the bigness of Makhana. It is a very good commercial. So we are trying to make it more commercial. We are trying to make different products from them. At the same time, we, as I said in the beginning, there was a picnic spot. Lots of problem wastes that generate. So we distributed dustbin to the villagers of that area. Even our students of my department, they did cleaning activities. And we prepared that kind of notice board. Here it is written: if you do more, if you throw wastage and the surrounding, you will be fined. In this way also we try to aware people of that area. You see, we started plantation just near the lake area so that the soil erosion problem can be solved. And recently we distributed fish fingerling also just to improve the fish production of that area. So in this way we are doing different activities in that area, and we are trying to improve the condition of that lake. We want to restore the ecology of that lake. So this much from my side. I hope you have understood that how beautiful the spot is. I welcome you all to Tripura. Please come and visit this Rudrasagar lake. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you, Mr. Brahma, for this beautiful data.
Thank you, Dr. Burma. That is a nice presentation and good work. Just I had one query. That when you were calculating the value index for the different varieties of your plants, so did you consider their potential use for various other purposes, like that in the end you have shown some of the use of those things? They have medicinal utility also. Similarly, some other product, as you have already shown in the last slide. So did you consider those kind of things also in your calculation of value index?
Yes.
Okay.
All practical. While calculating practical, all these values, sir.
Okay.
So we use different formulas for this, and we calculated almost all kind of. We gave the different credits to different values, and after that we sum up all these things and we got that value, sir, final value.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other question?
Thanks.
Any other question? Dr. Mama, I have a question. I have some interesting, very good data. When you say that water index value that changes from June, around the year it keeps changing. What could be the reason? Do you find any relation with different aquatic vegetation, biomass or quantity produced, or what could be the reason of change of this water quantity with season? Rainfall, you can understand. situation where you will be valued quality improve. But can you hear me, Mr. Verma?
Sorry, sir, it was I could not follow the thing because there was some network problem here.
I'll ask again. We have time. Like your water quality index, monthly water quality index.
Quality index.
Yeah. Okay. It has gone. Yeah. So that water quality every month you have a different value, right?
Sir, we have calculated IVI and TVI. While calculating IVI, we use abundance, then frequency and all these things, density. And for calculating TVI, we use all those values, like what sir said, like material value and some other values, fuel values, and all these things. We use different formulas for it, and we calculated all those uses. And after that, after adding all these things, we get the value. So we used cultural value and medicinal value and fuel value. All these things are calculated. Calculating them.
That is your vegetation quality. What I was wondering about the water also, you have a water quality index now, graph in the beginning, maybe third.
Water quality index, sir.
Yeah. You did that, no? The one slide.
Water quality index we used for 14 parameters,
okay.
Starting from physical and chemical parameters,
okay.
And all these, while calculating, we use different calculations. There are different indexes available in the but for our calculation, we use 14 parameters. Started from physical and chemical, all properties.
Mr. Bama, please listen to me. No, those are interesting data. Where you have developed now, why does it keep changing? This index keeps changing. So, what would the reason? Is it because?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah, that is what
index is changing during the month of March. April. Generally, it is very low. This is because quality is good, and this is because of this is the quality is being not bad.
No, I think Dr. Barma, question is towards which parameter got changed. Basically, that's the question. Which parameter is changing seasonally, which has made the water quality index to get different value in different month. That is the question.
Sir, okay, sir. DO value is also changing. DO. These things also. We got a very not only this but other values are also there. But we got a huge change in BOD and the COD level also.
That's fine. You have already published. Only my suggestion is it may be very interesting to look into which parameter. You have several parameters to come up with those index. There may be few parameters which may be a dominating role, playing dominating role, like your during summer months when you have lot of rain and lot of rainfall beating action, dissolved oxygen goes up. So maybe that could be one very important parameter which changing this variation in this or causing this variation in the index. So it will be good to find out which are the dominant parameter causing this change. It will be interesting.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Surely, sir. I'll. But actually, it is the compilation of the whole thing.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It was a nice presentation.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Now we have Dr. Digambar Narzari, Chairperson Nidan Foundation, who has connected with us virtually. Sir, I request you to deliver your speech as a panelist for 8 minutes. on to the paper presentation. Now, we have MD Ahinur Islam. All the paper presenters will be given 5 minutes to present. Next on the list, we have Harjit Nath, Sukanda Yang. Next, Dr. Manish Kumar Singh, Papuri Borpujari, and Ariknam Datta.
My name is Sukantaria, an integrated environment-friendly approach for recovery of surfactant and potable water from washing machine discharge. Introduction. As we all know that scarcity of water is increasing day by day. A typical household washing machine needs 50 liters of water per washing. Considering 3 washing per week, on an average, every household produces around 7,200 liters of grey water per year. Grey water surfactant, which has a toxic effect, can be seen in ecosystem and change in biodiversity. It is important and must focus on recycling and reuse due to shortage of water. Membrane treatment is introduced to reduce the harmful substances. RO has
when we use to photosynthesis for so we recommend that this use for 1 night 24 hours then go for sitting and after when they did our procedure they find that these are much more healthier or much benefit to them as better than what they are using previously. Actually, sir, in this paper we only consider our study on germination. But sir, as a because these crops are owned by the monopolists. Most of the yes sir. 5-6 years. Yes sir. Yes sir. Yes. Better and healthier, yeah. Yes. Assam, their college Yongcha College. Assam is no local language. It's a freebie. Yes sir. It has a supplemental, which is, if you touch the seeds, it will be very stinging. Hands on Yes.
After an enlightening session, finally, we have come to the closing session. I would like as we are facing technical problems, we are not able to show the paper Pyalidas Gavarza Siplam. As we are heading towards the end of the session, I would like to extend the vote of thanks to Professor N.C. Taluk panelists physically as well as virtually, rapporteurs, faculty members, for joining and making this section a successful one. Wish you all a very good afternoon ahead. Thank you.